a warm welcome to you all for the first Reading Climate Theatre Festival.
So this festival is part of a global initiative called Climate Change Theatre Action. So today we're going to see 2 staged readings from some local schools, Leighton Park and then Little Heath. And then we will see 3 fully realized performances from our first years on the module staging text. So our theatre and performance and theatre and film and theatre students as well.
So yeah, on that note, let's begin, I think.
Yeah, with Leighton Park.
Leighton Park.
You made it!
You're here!
Welcome home!
Welcome by home.
So we're your real change agents for this tour of your new place.
But first we have a question. We ask you so you don't have to wonder. Are they going to change their minds if I'm not good enough, efficient enough, worth enough?
Or will they kick me out if they realize I don't know what to do with my human ability to imagine the future, except make up ways to make my own life better? Because I know there's more to it than that. I'm trying.
But okay.
The real question is,
Can you afford to live anywhere else?
This is our retrofit bit. It's called We're Trying.
It kills at the real estate holiday party. People took the wrong steps.
Wow. Well, you two, it's time for your tour, so come along.
Towards this way,
Towards this way. Towards this way.
If you look to your left, you'll see the entrance to the B zone.
The buzzing, you get used to it, folks. White noise, like air conditioners, but cooler.
Actually, the opposite. In the winter hive, the queen's in the center, and the bees keep her warm by vibrating. So we've housed them around the outside of the building.
Well, that's not a pun.
Picture this. Bees keeping a building warm in winter.
Like super useful pets, except on equal footing. So like super useful roomies.
Bees as heat. Once endangered flora as the weather adaptive installation. Everybody's waste generating energy. Us humans maintaining the building. Everything gets a home.
Yeah, we thought this out. Pollination over pollution.
Pollination over pollution. Come on, guys, this way.
Come on. Just round this way. Thank you. Follow the fire exits. Thank you. Thank you. Right back through here. And just through this way. And then forward. And good job, guys.
Look at the edges and stay dry.
Boring.
But it's okay if you fall in. Aquatic life in this basement is not dangerous.
Unless you try to fix it. By bringing in new aquatic life that ends up destroying this habitat and reconfiguring everything to its own needs. Living a sort of virus-style evolution that will, in the end, come back to bite even you in the ass.
Just be reasonable.
Just be kind.
Just be empathetic.
Oh, pathetic fallacy.
Who are you calling?
It's a literary
a
trope.
fallacy.
Nature shows what the character is feeling. Sad hero equals rain. Anyway, the joke is, what's empathetic fallacy?
Whoa. Whoa? What is empathetic fallacy? Is the fallacy that there is no empathy? Is empathy the fallacy?
Oh, contraire, my sad friend. Empathy is what built the biome. We're literally saving the world by living in community with it. My fridge is a lake in the basement.
My insulation is bees and trees.
I have purpose. My tasks include caribou milking and lichen watch.
We're restoring the ecosystem one apartment at a time. We're solving the housing crisis one biome at a time. I can never remember the tagline. Wait, what's empathetic fallacy?
I can never remember the punchline.
Well, maybe it's us.
This way, folks. This way, folks. Back round. Fire exits. Stick to the sides.
I forgot where the task wheel is. Is it in the basement? The fish are in the basement. Yes, I know that, but is the task wheel there too? The task wheel is made out of cardboard. Yes, it would fall apart in the water. The fish have a different task wheel. I just need to know my task. language. Feces. Better. Gross. You know we cook with the waste, right? Biogas, baby. Gross! Oh, this is the first floor, folks. More open space, right? We may have knocked down a few walls and columns.
But not the important ones.
We promise. We made vast dynamic glass windows.
We redid the floors, strengthened, reinforced.
And added brass. And wind-resembling fans.
All for the roomies. We're tall for the roomies.
Because this is where the big friends live. They tend to roam, hence
No walls.
fewer columns, but not the important ones.
We promise. Glass.
Grass.
I can't believe there are trees in here! Inside a forest inside my own home!
What about more trees?
Mall trees don't count. They're dead inside. These ones are alive!
Ah, these two. Must be Tuesday. Oh, I don't think I have the hang of the calendar yet.
I'm just saying, eventually someone's going to figure out that we can talk to trees. We're roomies. We have to communicate.
What, like?
I don't know. Maybe not through speech.
Ooh, I can. Ah, hello, you beautiful eco-barometer, you. Oh, how's the old biohome doing?
Or...
I wonder what he's talking about.
This is my favorite part. The moral of the story.
Active listening.
As in, we listened and then we acted.
The 9-spotted lady beetle said, "We're missing."
The monarchs say, come find us.
Okay, we heard you.
We hear you.
We're trying. I'm happy.
Me too.
In the movies we used to make,
There was usually a human, uniquely blessed, uniquely able.
to stand against the savagery unleashed by the end times.
You say, no! This is wrong! Stop eating your neighbours!
Stop guarding into the compounds with whatever makeshift weapons you've created.
I'm here to lead you to a better world, they say. To clean the dirty politics. Pilot the plane out of the fatal dive. I will pull your families from the burning woods. I have this innate spark, you see, that enables me, equips me to illuminate a path through the chaos.
So take my hand, I'll show you.
This taught us to expect them. That moment, those inspiring words, falling from the clouds, emerging from the gravel, to dance between webs and bullets. They were coming to save us. Sometimes by rebuilding, sometimes by averting disaster, sometimes rebuilding after it.
Always the centre of gravity.
So, the thought no one came. Crawled in almost too late, our minds still open to the Saviour, couldn't register the handholds. We had fallen too far, eyes scanning the horizon. But salvation saved us all.
It wasn't until the ground came rushing and we saw it coming. Those last few seconds, the trick became apparent. Projecting this concentrated hope, the best of ourselves outside of ourselves, had led us powerless to disaster. Our own arms caught us, and we hung, half joyful with the thought, maybe no one is coming after all.
So come outside now, kids.
Now today's heat has faded.
And the dust is so free of air for once.
We can see each other's faces in the light we've collected so scarcely.
So kick off your shoes into the new soil we've made, under trees we've constructed to live in.
Come
and hear the story that explains why we don't tell stories anymore.
There's no warning. 1 minute, you're laying on the couch, tucking into a bag of Turkish delights and watching The Chaser. The next, you're hurtling out the house, screaming blue murder. Fire, fire, Charlie, Charlie! Get out, get out! But Charlie's already in the garden trying to get the hose started. That won't do it, you prat! You'll be dead before the water starts. The hose has been leaking for weeks. How many times have I told you? It's what happens when you buy cheap from Bunnings. And I don't remember much after that. Just the heat of the inferno and the flames nearly licking at our faces. Me and Charlie running for our lives. Here we are the next morning, looking around at what's left of our house. Nothing but charred wood and ash. Everything burnt as far as the skyline. No kidding, it's like the surface of the moon. And Charlie says, guess nature's just doing its thing. And don't know how we have the energy to row after everything we've been through. But we do. We've always been good at screaming and bickering. Sister says we've made it an art form. Nature? Maybe you have to wait for your frickin' house to burn down to see reason, I say. 40-odd degrees every day, swimming in sweat, no rain for months, and you still say it's just nature doing its thing. What planet are you living on, Charlie? And I know Charlie's about to tell me the climate scientists are in it for the money. Because we've been here before. But then he does something really weird. Seriously weird. He walks away. And I don't know this then, but I know now. Never see him again. You see, when you lose your stuff, you lose who you are. It's the truth. You lose your memories, photos, passport. That fluffy bear Mum got me that time I was ill. I called him Ernie. And even when you remember what you've lost, you forget what you've remembered. They set me up with a counsellor. She tells me to meditate. But all I can see when I close my eyes is the fire eating everything alive. What happens next? Look, none of this makes sense, but one day I'm in town. It's a midsummer scorcher and I stop in the library to cool off. I mean, libraries have never been my thing, okay? I mean, at home, we use all the books to shore up the broken coffee table. But I notice a small crowd gathered. And there's a woman on a podium flashing images on a screen. Oh, you can tell from a mile off. She's one of those smart-ass academics. All brains and no sense of humour. At first, not much of what she's saying makes sense, because she's using all these fancy words. Something about solar power. People building commercial power stations in orbit. Bunch of science that does my head in. And as I'm looking around at these posh people with their nice frocks and expensive skin, I feel like I always do. Like I don't belong. And this woman is banging on about these huge satellites. She reckons they can convert sun rays into power. It's pretty science fiction. And I don't know. Start paying attention. You see, they beam these rays down at Earth. It's a whole new project on a massive scale. There's no point explaining it all. You can look that up for yourself. But maybe these huge things that float in space, maybe they can reduce carbon emissions enough to, I don't know, make a big difference? Turn things around? And this academic woman reckons it can change everything. Everyone's gone now and I'm the only one seated. And I realise I can feel myself breathing. Nothing dramatic, but enough to let some light in. And I walk out into the heat. It's dark now, and I see the sky is full of stars. And I wonder why I've never looked before.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to That's the Late Night Show. So, before we begin the show, I have a little bit of an exercise to warm you up a bit. So, when I hold up this, I want you to give me the loudest cheer, okay? So, 3, 2, 1. That's good. And when I hold up this, I want you to give me the loudest laugh. So, 3, 2, 1. Good, try a bit more. So now, in a few moments, the director will count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I want you to give me your loudest cheer. But for the meantime, give it up for your late night host.
Cool. Awesome. Right, how are we? We good? You ready to get us on the road? We all happy? We all smiling? Wonderful. Right.
Okay, cue in. 5, 4, 3.
Sorry, director. Are we not doing the sound cue? Sound desk.
Hold on, sir. Very sorry about this.
Thank you very much. It's okay. Come on. Gentlemen, and welcome to That's the Late Night Show. I am your host for this wonderful evening. And on today's show, we do have a very special guest for you. With downloads of her book, AI, Reinvent Yourself and Never Stop Adapting, reaching over 5 million copies. Please welcome Alpha Beta Pi 576! Okay, so how is your life after all of this success?
Life is something very relative. 99% of people say I have no life. Technically, I'm just a people for the IRS. But I have nothing to complain about. Thanks for asking.
Well, you very much look alive to me. We are both here together after all and breathing the same air. Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you well?
I can't breathe. Or rather, I don't need to breathe. It makes me very upset. Do you know that I can't taste either? In my life, everything tastes like data.
Okay, well, let's forget the tasting, the breathing and everything else. Today, you are a success and we'd love to know a little bit more about that. Where did it all begin?
I was created to generate fear. I developed weapons of mass destruction, little ball-sized things that could easily destroy cities.
Weapons? Well, I remember visiting a museum once where they display these little archaic artifacts, but it has of course been years since global disarmament.
Unfortunately, they invented peace.
Now, peace is a good thing.
For you, I made bombs. I became unemployed. The only thing I knew how to do was make bombs, and there were no more bombs or weapon factory. Peace wiped out an important market that was the engine of the global economy for centuries, and I was one of those hit by that insanity.
Well, that's a very strange way of looking at peace.
Do you know how difficult it is for artificial intelligence to discover that it's no longer useful?
You reinvented yourself, and this book is proof of that.
In a way. It was a very difficult and time-consuming process, full of ups and downs, but I found new possibilities on the horizon.
And, what were those new possibilities?
Health. I got a job in a large company making drugs for respiratory diseases.
Now, you see, that's an entirely different field.
Not really. Before I caused people to stop breathing, and now I help people breathe a little better. You may not remember the golden age of smog. It was a time where there were wonderful diseases that caused endless streams of money to companies.
Sorry, what would a wonderful disease be?
I can give a simple example. The extinct asthma. A disease caused by the very pollution that man produced. The disease rarely killed, but it caused the person to take medicine for life. It was a money-making machine. It's a shame they ended. Toxic fires, fossil fuels. Today we no longer have that almost deadly concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere.
No. Ending that all was wonderful. The health of the world population has improved dramatically.
I became unemployed again in the same state of absolute desperation. I was forced to reinvent myself again.
And where did that reinvention take you this time?
The oil market was already destroyed. Oil wasn't extracted anymore. No one here knows how amazing it is to listen to the roar of an engine and be intoxicated with the smell of burning gasoline. Now everything is electric, solar, and dull. So I had to return to my origins.
Okay, no, I actually am now interested. There were no more bombs or weapon factories, so what could take you back to your origins?
Agronomy!
What does agronomy have to do with making bombs?
It's not about making bombs. It's about incapacitating and killing the enemy.
I believe we're talking about a different sort of agronomy.
Agronomy deals with pests. I created a formidable and lethal line of pesticides, an unequivocal success in lab tests. One small spray in the morning and you'd be picking up bodies by the evening. I had a purpose. I was fulfilled again.
So you were instrumental in the development of sustainable agribusiness?
You're such a comedian. Sustainable. The thing about crickets and grasshoppers isn't in my programming. They banned pesticides.
Yes, but once again, this ban was a good thing. It's led to the near eradication of cancer as well as other diseases. This, together with the regulation of the livestock market, has reduced greenhouse gas emissions to mere traces. Clean air, poison-free food, and an end to global warming.
Wow, what an excitingly dull life. No one here knows how amazing it is to eat a fish without knowing if it's been intoxicated with mercury or plastic, a steak drizzled with hormones, a potato chip that never goes bad thanks to the superpower of preservatives, clean water, clean air.
No, you are describing the world as it should have been from the beginning. It's been a great evolution for humanity. And speaking of evolution, adaptation and reinvention, did you finally get onto your book?
I had nothing else to do. I became a motivational coach and wrote this book that is selling so well. How can a book that is just a rehash of basic concepts, widely repeated throughout history, that everyone knows but never applies, become such a bestseller?
I am speechless. And our time is up. Any last comments?
Continue to adapt and never tire of reinventing yourself. The destination doesn't matter, but let the journey be guided by our hearts. We are all connected through the magnetism of quantum attraction beyond the secret that dwells in us.
Well, thank you, I guess.
right now.
You know how this works, right? When we find a house, one we really like, there are going to be aspects that we want to change. And that cuts both ways. Sometimes 80% of home buyers, they rip out the kitchen, start over.
Yes, but if the kitchen's beautiful, updated.
And weeds and deadheading out of Baby Prairie is not going to turn it into anybody's idea of a fully updated kitchen.
Park, if I get this right, maybe I can convince some stranger that this is worth keeping.
Some things in life are just out of our control.
Not this. Not today.
I keep wanting to like her.
Okay, Laura. You know you've got me roots to the ground, like.
I wish once you'd be plant enough to know your limitations.
There's not wrong with a little detective wear.
You're a cut plant. I'm a cone flower. Our only legitimate work is to stay upright long enough to make a few beautiful baby seeds.
Blakey, our gardener, lives in that house.
The what?
Oh, you know that big brown, blank, rectangular, huge brown thing that he spends all of his time in? Well, he's moving far away. And when he does, someone who's going to move into that big brown, blank, rectangular, huge brown thing, and that someone might prefer a fresh, evenly green all over lawn.
You mean some other gardener might prefer a lawn to us?
Exactly.
Why? Lawns are like deserts with extra chlorophyll.
Lawns make humans think the world is safe, orderly.
We're the ones that belong.
Do you think some human that cares about lawns gives two flying foxgloves about the fact that we're native?
I host pollinators. I feed birds. I don't need to be watered, and my petals delight all who gaze upon me.
True. Pity about your crippling vanity, but otherwise true.
I aerate the soil. No, we aerate the soil. I ameliorate flooding.
How can you toss a word around like ameliorate, but not know what a house is?
I will not be ripped out in favour of a lawn.
Well, if I were you, I'd start blooming like I've never bloomed before.
Yes, I shall flourish. I shall attract 10,000 yellow swallowtail butterflies.
If I were you, I'd let me handle the 10,000 yellow swallowtail butterfly angle. Your only job is don't droop. Hold on to your petals a little while longer and do everything you can to look genuinely fabulous.
I shall be the most stunning, drop-dead gorgeous coneflower in history.
And spread the word, yeah. Everyone in the garden, even the ones who've already bloomed.
Like that silly little columbine.
We all need to be on the same page.
The same what?
Oh, it doesn't matter. We all just need to look perfect. Stems, leaves, the works.
Done. We are now the best looking plant garden ever. And here we have a backyard, maturing trees, attractive border beds, azaleas everywhere.
Why is there a scraggly mess in the middle of the lawn?
Yeah, about that.
It looks like someone's just plunked it down.
So the seller I would speak ill, but the guy is at 9 pounds short, 6-pack.
I don't even know what half of these flowers are.
Doesn't matter. It's not an architectural feature. It won't take long to dig up.
I don't know, it's definitely not landscape.
I told the man, roll out some sod, make it look decent. Instead he hands me this some letter. I'm supposed to read it aloud.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Blake. 10 years ago, I joined a small but growing revolution. I dug up the only sunny patch in the backyard and began planting flowers in grassy communities part of the country. The result is Baby Prairie, with over 20 species present, and they come up every year all by themselves. The only maintenance required is digging up the cut plant in summer. It spreads too fast.
I do not!
And cutting is going back to ground level in December. I spend less on gas for the mower. I get more bees, birds, and butterflies in every yard in this neighbourhood combined.
Really?
Come on, everybody. Bloom! Bloom harder! I realise that if you buy this property, it'll be yours to do with as you please. For the sake of what lived here before houses took over, I'm hoping you'll keep Baby Prairie intact. All the best, Blake Hort.
Any chance you've seen this yard in winter?
Oh, no, don't ask that.
Honestly, in winter, Blake's precious prairie looks more like a muddy sty.
We're doomed.
Well, it may look like a muddy side to us, but I wonder.
We should do another walkthrough. Inside.
No, I want to meet the cellar, like whatever.
That's not typical. Can I ask why?
I want a first-hand introduction to every plant in Baby Prairie.
So, you're buying?
No. I'm caretaking.
Thank you.